John Miller, Bill Madden, Doug Harvey, and Whitey Herzog.
Despite battling chronic knee injuries throughout his career, Andre Dawson became one of the game's greatest players. Known for his power hitting, speed, and strong defense, he was an 8-time All-Star and an 8-time Gold Glove winner. Overcoming adversity, Dawson smashed 438 career home runs and was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 2010, cementing his legacy as a symbol of perseverance and excellence. Before we proceed, please subscribe to the channel. Dawson was famous for his fearless, aggressive style of play. He gave everything he had on the field, but his style often put him in situations where injuries were almost inevitable. Fans loved his intensity and commitment, but that same hard-nosed approach sometimes came at a cost. One of his biggest challenges was his knees, which took a beating over the years. Playing on Montreal's artificial turf, a notoriously unforgiving surface, only made things worse. The constant pounding on the turf led to chronic knee problems that forced him to adjust his game. Initially a center fielder, Dawson's injuries eventually pushed him to move to right field, a less demanding position defensively. While fans admired his grit, some critics felt that Dawson's aggressive play might have shortened his career or reduced his overall effectiveness. They argued that a more cautious approach might have kept him healthier and extended his time as an elite player. But Dawson never played cautiously. That just wasn't his style. He believed in giving his all, every game, every play. One of the biggest controversies of his career was his relationship with Expos that became strained during the infamous MLB Collusion scandal of 1986-87. At the time, Dawson was a free agent, hoping to find a new team that would offer him a fair contract and a chance to play on natural grass, which would be easier on his battered knees. However, he felt the Expos, along with other teams, were deliberately working against him to keep salaries low. This was part of a broader scheme where team owners were accused of secretly agreeing not to sign free agents, limiting players' options, and bargaining power. Feeling frustrated and betrayed, Dawson decided to take an unprecedented step. He signed a blank contract with the Chicago Cubs, letting them fill in the salary amount just so he could get out of Montreal and continue his career. The move turned out to be a turning point, as he went on to have one of his best seasons in Chicago, winning the 1987 NL MVP. Years later, Dawson's feelings about the Expos surfaced again during his Hall of Fame induction in 2010. Despite his incredible years in Montreal, he had come to associate the Expos with the struggles and conflicts of his early career. When the Hall of Fame decided his plaque would feature an Expos cap, Dawson was disappointed. He felt his most memorable and impactful years had come with the Cubs, where he became a beloved figure. Dawson even asked for the cap to be changed to represent Chicago instead, but the Hall stuck with their decision, citing his longer tenure in Montreal. While Dawson ultimately accepted the choice with grace, it was clear the Expo chapter of his career remained complicated for him. Dawson's journey to the Baseball Hall of Fame wasn't a smooth ride. It had its fair share of debates and challenges. While Dawson was undoubtedly a great player, some questioned whether his numbers truly matched up with the elite group of Hall of Famers. Sure, his career stats were impressive: 438 home runs, 591 RBIs, and 314 stolen bases. But baseball is a sport that loves its numbers, and for some voters, they weren't quite sure if his stats alone sealed the deal. Critics pointed out that Dawson's career batting average of .279, though solid, wasn't exceptional. And while his home run total was significant, it wasn't jaw-dropping compared to some of the biggest sluggers in history. But here's the thing: numbers alone didn't define Dawson's career. He was so much more than just a stat sheet. What really made Dawson's case was his impact on the game and the way he played it. He wasn't just a power hitter, he was a complete player. His speed and defensive skills earned him 8 Gold Glove awards. On top of that, Dawson's longevity in the league was remarkable. Playing 21 seasons in the majors, especially with the kind of chronic knee injuries he endured, was a testament to his grit and determination. In the end, voters recognized that Dawson's career was about more than just numbers. It was about his impact, his consistency, and the way he carried himself throughout his career. It wasn't an easy road, but Dawson's perseverance, both as a player and in earning his spot in the Hall of Fame, is part of what makes his story so inspiring. Dawson's journey to becoming a baseball legend began in humble circumstances in Florida, and his love for baseball started to shine through at an early age. He had a creative way of practicing his swing. Dawson would pay his younger brothers in cookies to toss him rocks, which he would hit with a broomstick. It was a makeshift batting practice, but it showed his determination to improve, even with limited resources. Dawson's nickname, the Hawk, also came from his childhood. An uncle gave him the name after noticing that he attacked the ball with the precision and boldness of a hawk, and the nickname stuck for life. In high school at Southwest Miami Senior High, Dawson faced his first major setbacks. Multiple knee injuries hampered his athletic development, and he didn't catch the attention of professional scouts or college recruiters. With no scholarship offers, Dawson didn't give up on his dream. Instead, he took out student loans to enroll at Florida A&M University, determined to prove himself. Once at Florida A&M, Dawson walked on to the Rattlers baseball team as a freshman, earning his spot through sheer effort and talent. He spent 3 years there, steadily improving and showing the kind of work ethic that would later define his professional career. Dawson's big break in professional baseball came when the Montreal Expos selected him in the 11th round of the 1975 MLB draft. As the 250th overall pick, he wasn't a highly touted prospect, but he was determined to make his mark. Dawson made his major league debut on September 11, 1976, playing in 24 games that season. It wasn't a lot of time to prove himself, but it was clear the Expos had found a gem. In 1977, Dawson became an everyday outfielder for Montreal, and that's when his star truly began to rise. He batted .282, hit 19 home runs, and stole 21 bases, showcasing a rare blend of power and speed that quickly made him a fan favorite. His impressive rookie season earned him the National League Rookie of the Year award, narrowly beating out Steve Henderson of the New York Mets. Over the next several years, Dawson cemented his status as one of baseball's most dynamic players. He hit at least 20 home runs in 7 seasons with the Expos and stole 20 or more bases in each of his first 7 years. A combination of skills that made him a true dual threat on the field. On top of his offensive power, Dawson was an elite defender. Playing primarily in center field, he earned his first Gold Glove award in 1980, the first of 8 he would win during his career. Dawson's all-around brilliance also put him in the running for the league's top individual honor more than once. He finished second in National League MVP voting in 1981 and again in 1983, coming up short to Mike Schmidt and Dale Murphy, respectively. Even so, his impact was undeniable, and he was named the Montreal Expos Player of the Year in both those seasons. During his time with the Expos, Dawson became a cornerstone of the franchise, playing in 1,243 games, 4th most in team history. He set single-season records for the club, including home runs, RBIs, extra base hits, and sacrifice flies. While some of those records have since been broken, Dawson still holds the Expos' career record for sacrifice flies with 71. He's also the only player in franchise history to hit 200 home runs and steal 200 bases, a testament to his all-around talent. Dawson also had a knack for the extraordinary. Twice during his Expos career, he hit 2 home runs in the same inning, a feat that remains rare in baseball history. The first time was on July 30th, 1978, at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium against the Braves, and the second was on September 24th, 1985, at Wrigley Field against the Cubs, the team he would later join. Recently, only a handful of players, including Dawson, have achieved this incredible milestone twice in their careers. Dawson's years with the Expos were nothing short of remarkable, filled with unforgettable moments and records that showcased his incredible talent. After the 1986 season, Dawson's time with the Montreal Expos came to an end, and he set his sights on the Chicago Cubs. He believed their natural grass field at Wrigley would help prolong his career. But Cubs general manager Dallas Green wasn't convinced. He didn't think signing Dawson would turn around a team that had gone 71-91 the year before. He even said, "One player can't make a 71-91 team into a 91-71 team." Still, Dawson and his agent Dick Moss were persistent. They eventually agreed to a salary of $500,000, one of the lowest on the team, but with performance-based bonuses. He'd earn extra if he stayed off the injured list or made the All-Star team, both of which he achieved. That gamble paid off in a big way. Dawson became the Cubs' starting right fielder and delivered one of the most incredible seasons of his career in 1987. He blasted 49 home runs, tying Oakland rookie Mark McGwire for the most in the majors that year, and drove in 137 runs. His power surge was historic. It was the most homers by any player since George Foster in 1977 and Willie Mays in 1965. Dawson's performance earned him the National League MVP award, finally securing the honor after twice finishing as runner-up during his years in Montreal. What made the MVP win even more remarkable was that Dawson became the first player in MLB history to win the award while playing for a last-place team. The Cubs finished the season 76-85, but Dawson's individual brilliance couldn't be ignored. He also added to his resume by winning the Home Run Derby that year and earning his 4th All-Star selection. Dawson stayed with the Cubs for 5 more seasons, becoming one of the most beloved players in franchise history. He gave the fans everything he had, even during tough years for the team. His worst season, statistically, came in 1989, the year the Cubs won the NL East. In the National League Championship Series against the San Francisco Giants, Dawson struggled at the plate, hitting just .105 as the Cubs lost the series in 5 games. Still, his impact on the team was undeniable. His .507 career slugging percentage with the Cubs ranks as the 4th highest in franchise history. Dawson's time in Chicago is remembered as a period of resilience and heart. He came to the team under unusual circumstances, proved everyone wrong, and left an indelible mark on Cubs history. In October 1992, Dawson signed with the Boston Red Sox as a free agent, taking the next step in his impressive career. He wasted no time making history with his new team, hitting his 400th career home run at Fenway Park on April 15, 1993. However, his time with the Red Sox was marked by injuries. Early in the 1993 season, during a game against the Texas Rangers, Dawson had an unfortunate mishap on the base pass. He got caught between sliding and standing up on a pass ball while running from second to third. He misstepped on the corner of the third base bag and injured his knee, requiring surgery. The injury limited him to 121 games that year, and the Red Sox decided to primarily use him as a designated hitter to ease the strain on his knees. The following year, Dawson's knee issues persisted, and he underwent another surgery. He managed to play in just 75 games during the 1994 season, his second and final year with Boston. In 1995, Dawson returned to his home state of Florida to play for the newly established Florida Marlins. Although he played sparingly in his final 2 seasons, it was a fitting way to wind down his career, playing close to where it all began. Dawson retired after the 1996 season, ending an incredible 21-year career. In his final game, the Marlins gave him a heartfelt send-off. As Dawson was removed from the field for the last time, the fans rose to their feet, giving him a long and emotional standing ovation. In 1997, the Montreal Expos honored Dawson by retiring his silver 10 jersey. This was a special tribute, as the number had also been retired for Rusty Staub. It was a clear sign of how much Dawson meant to the franchise and its fans. Even after the Expos moved to Washington, D.C., Dawson's legacy remained alive. The Montreal Canadiens raised a banner in the Bell Center to honor all the retired Expos numbers, including Dawson's. In 2010, the Washington Nationals recognized his impact as well, adding him to their Ring of Honor at Nationals Park. Dawson's achievements weren't just limited to his professional career. In 2019, he was inducted into the National College Baseball Hall of Fame, recognizing his outstanding contributions during his college years at Florida A&M University. After retiring from playing, Dawson stayed close to the game he loved. He returned to the Florida Marlins, this time as part of their front office. It was a new chapter in his baseball journey, and in 2003 he celebrated a big milestone, earning his first World Series ring when the Marlins won it all. Well, that brings us to the end of today's video. Make sure to subscribe to Baseball Icons so that you never miss an update.